Hello, let's fly like a butterfly. So, we are going to do a 6 card reading. I'm going to use the Smith Waite Tarot deck, and then we're going to pull a Moonology card, and then we're going to pull an Angel Answer card. Okay, so a lot of energy moving through this period of time. We will have a full moon in Capricorn, or full moon in Capricorn, and Mercury retrograde. I'm already feeling the effects, as you can see. Um, and there will be quite a bit of, well, there'll be some changes. I know Jupiter is moving into Leo. Um, and then just thinking about the effects of all the outer planets. You have Saturn in Aries, you have Neptune in Aries. Um, Pluto is still in Aquarius, but there's some changes coming up. And we're also now in Cancer season. We've been there for about a little while now, but just thinking of all of these changes and things happening, it could feel like quite a bit going on. Mars is also going to enter Gemini, if not already. So, and that's where Uranus is. So there's going to be quite a bit of energy. Some planets changing signs, full moon in Capricorn, and Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So this could be, I myself have been feeling it. Things have been happening, and it's just been quite a bit of emotional temperance that I need to practice, being able to balance it out, taking the good with the bad. Um, and that's what this definitely feels like, is there is some type of, you have to kind of sizzle out. When you're getting hot, just blow the hot air from between your teeth. That's what this period feels like for a lot of people. Um, and I think that's why I want to pull so many cards, because I can definitely feel like this is going to impact a lot of people with outer planets and even personal planets. And then the full moon, you will in some way be impacted. And there feels like temperance needs to happen, because if you don't, and I like this card too, because there's water being poured in 2 cups. It's like measuring out. Don't have too much in 1 cup or it'll overflow. It's almost like, don't do too much in one area or you will burst, or your overflow isn't necessarily abundance. It could be, I'm just overwhelmed, I'm upset. It could be too much and you might have an outburst or be on the receiving end of an outburst. There's this kind of balancing of, let me measure out these cups, okay? Some people may actually need to get into some nature around this. Being is grass and flowers and there's water. So some people may need to go ahead and get around some nature, get around some water actually. This is a good time around the holidays to, you might get in a boat. It might be best to not, again, balancing it out. Maybe not overconsume too much alcohol if you have a tendency and are susceptible to that. But this definitely feels like a measuring out the cups, but getting yourself around some nature, outside, getting on the water, finding peace. That may be your outlet during this time, to escape that energy and try not to bring that energy to these places of peace and serenity. Again, especially during this time. Oop, that card jumped out, but it didn't flip over. Okay. So temperance is good. I think it's again, you roll with the punches. Then we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. So this is definitely something where, again, it's shaky ground. 4 is even, it's sturdy. You have 4 legs on an ottoman, and it's sturdy. You don't have to worry about tipping it one way or the other and it tips over unless you are intentionally rocking further. So there is an instability there in with the home life. See, these Four of Wands there's a home in the back. It's like almost celebrating going home. You feel good when you go home. Your home is your happy place. There could be a situation where your home is not your happy place. You're not really feeling the happiness. There's some type of instability going forward. One thing I will say that is on my mind when I say that is, do not use people as your scapegoat, as your punching bag for situations with people and places that have nothing to do with that person you're going to use as a punching bag and a scapegoat. Because you don't want to make waves in your home or with the people in your home that doesn't give you the right to project and punch at other people who are not in your home, who did not cause the instability nor the frustration. Okay. Let's try to be respectful of others. I understood that your home life can affect how you go out into the world, your public life. But if the root of the problem is at home, then that's where you need to start. Getting in the battlefield, working out those issues, ironing out those wrinkles with the people at home where the instability is, not an innocent party that you just want to pick on and bully. Okay. And I think that temperance is really good because it's like you're trying to find your balance in this instability of this home or the situation. And that makes sense. Maybe, again, as I said, you probably need to go out into some nature, get on the water, but don't bring that energy out there. You know, say someone invites you out to a party or a boat trip or hiking or something outside. Don't, again, use other people around as a scapegoat and a punching bag and bully them to take out your frustrations for what's going on at home. Okay. Don't bring that energy out there. So everybody else is trying to balance their stuff too. They're trying to manage and blow out the hot air, cool off, not overflow so that they don't crash out, so that they don't have outbursts and arguments and fights. And sometimes that energy can carry in other areas where you could, have accidents, cuts, literal car accidents. Here we have eight of cups. And in the Eight of Cups, excuse the noise. With the Eight of Cups, as you see, this person is, one, I look at the moon. Immediately, I look at the moon and I'm like, the moon is looking down at the individual that is walking away from the Eight of Cups. This feels like, once again, as I said here, it's like some situation where it is overwhelming. There's something that is overwhelming and you just might have to walk away. You just might have to really and truly just walk away from whatever is building up. And truthfully, this could be stemming from, again, this Four of Wands in reverse, where it's just so much that you have to walk away from everything that's happening. The moon being here is just so appropriate. Again, full moon in Capricorn happening. We have Mercury retrograde in Cancer, which is a very emotional sign. It's a water sign, but it is an emotional sign. And it's funny because it is a sign that also deals with the home and family. So this could be something that is overwhelming with family, that is just too much for you to bear, that you have to walk away. And not meaning, oh, there's a divorce, there's a breakup, but simply just, I need to walk away and I need to go on a trip. I need to walk away and I need to spend some time at my friend's house. Aunts, uncle, favorite cousin, favorite aunt, whatever. There's a situation where it's a lot going on and that moon sees you. That moon knows how you are feeling. it's quite a bit of energy that's happening in whatever situation is culminating in this Four of Wands in the home with the family. It's a lot. And you see this, might not be able to see them well, but they aren't necessarily with their head down, but you're walking away with your head up, which is why I feel like this isn't necessarily a somber situation. It's just something where I just have to go ahead and let the chips fall where they may. I just have to go ahead and walk away from the situation before I blow up, before I've been crying so much, I don't know what else to do. It's almost like you just don't know what else to do, and you don't want to jump in and try to control everything. So it's like, let me just walk away and see how things pan out. Very intense energy. Once again, that's why I named all those things that were happening, because you can put yourself in a space with this Eight of Cups where you blow up. As I said, Mars and Gemini. Mars and Gemini, you have air and fire. Mars rules Aries. There could be some cuss outs, a lot of things said that can cut deeply. That may be what is causing this Eight of Cups, energy, where you have to walk away because some things were said that cannot be taken back, and they cut. That could be the result of instability in the home, or what caused the instability in the home, and possibly why Temperance is here is, I need to get back to a place of balance. We have to work on balancing this, because this is out of hand. We've said things that we've never said before. We're doing things to each other that we've never done before. And yeah, it probably got ugly or can get ugly. And if it can get ugly, it's probably been ugly before. Wow, look at this. Okay, so the first card that I saw flipped over at the top is Death. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Swords. This is a lot. Okay, so Death first coming out. This could signify walking away from something completely. Or it could signify the death of how we used to be. Again, as I was just saying, some things were said, some things happened that cannot be taken back. And now it's not going to be the same. What it used to be, it will never be again. There is with this death card, there is, again, two options that I see in this is it's completely done, no coming back. Whatever was said and done that created this instability, or after this instability, we're at the point of no return. Or with this Temperance card, again, we're trying to get back to a place where we are just releasing the hot air and because we both did things, or things happened from both parties that hurt deeply. And now we need to take accountability after acknowledging our words and actions and look at a new relationship. But what we had before would not be here, but there will be transformation. So this death card can represent transformation. I look at that with the sun in the background. The death card is there. It's death. There's a skeleton in the night, the armor, but there's still a sun. There's still just a silver lining there. There's positivity. And that's where I feel like that's transformation. But it could always depend on what all parties involved want to do. Okay. 10 of Swords in reverse. This just feels heavy. But this is why I feel like there's transformation, because with this card being upside down, I feel like the swords are coming out of your, like there's just pressure being relieved from the sword stabbing you in the back. It doesn't hurt as much because both or all parties involved are willing to work through. All parties involved are willing to say, I did this and I was wrong. And I should not have said or done that. I want to be with you. I want this to work. I want our family to be together, even if it's not going to be the same as before. We're going to transform and still be together. Together is better than, oh, how we used to be. This is, again, when you see death in this 10 of swords come out, you might think, oh my gosh, this is bad. But it's only bad if you don't want to do the work. This just feels like work, like real work. Death hurts. It's pain. I always think of like butterflies and how they came to be. They have to go through a death. That caterpillar had to go through a death. But are you going to put yourself in that cocoon or not? That's what this feels like. Are we going to go through this transformation or not? If not, this could be a quite literal ending of something. And it hurts, but it might not hurt as much because maybe you were already expecting that. We were already heading towards an ending. I felt this before. I walked away with my head up because I already knew that I just need to take some time to figure out the next steps. We were, again, like I said, sometimes this might be let me walk away before it gets bad like it has before, because we've experienced instability. It could be we're getting out. We're getting out of whatever this is. We're moving forward. We're done with this. It doesn't hurt as much because we expected it, and now we can move forward. That can be somebody's story, okay? I will say, I saw the Death card, and then the Ten of Swords card was turned over, and I did not see that. Someone could be blindsided. Just a little bit. Someone could be blindsided. This card came up first. The card beneath it, I'm not going to take. But someone could be blindsided and not really know, oh, you want to end this relationship, and it still may not hurt as much because of, like, when you think of being blindsided, you think, oh my gosh, some people may think, oh my gosh, like, that hurt really bad. That's the worst pain I felt. But some people may be like, you know what? The fact that you would even do that to me, I'm okay. I don't want to be with someone who just out of the blue or blindsides me like that. Yes, this hurts. It sucks. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss it. But nah, that feels very niche. Could be for a small group of people, but just I did not see that card flipped over, and then I looked and I said, oh, so that could resonate with some people. And then we have Three of Cups in reverse. Now, Three of Cups in reverse. There's so many things going through my mind. This instability could have been caused by a third party, infidelity, cheating. Or this could be, again, as I said, we move on and we're celebrating, but it is bittersweet. I'm moving forward. I'm getting on with my life. I'm enjoying, I'm going outside, but it's not as fun because I'm still hurting. This definitely feels like either celebration or cheating. A cause and then an after. Okay. So a lot of energy and a lot of communication. Mars and Gemini, full moon and Cap, an ending. Full moon is an ending of something. So death coming out was just so appropriate. And then you have Jupiter and Leo. That's good times. It's happy times that's going out, but you might not feel it as much. Maybe further down the line when time has passed. Okay? Maybe. Possibly. Mars and Gemini is talking. There could be some things coming out where it, like again, I said that could be some blindsidedness. Okay. Could be a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and pull a Moonology card. I like this top card that came out. Work through your fears. This says a new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. So I think that this speaks to overall the bigger picture. When you are in a space with this dealing with some type of instability in your home life, that's a fear. This is when you grow with somebody, whether this is a marriage or a coupling or you have kids or not, there's time invested, and you may feel like, what am I going to do after this? This is what I've known for in certain number of years. I would say work through your fears. It's also great because, as I said here, if it's not an ending, it just could be a transformation, and the uncertainty, the unknown is scary. You have to work through that to know, you have to work through that to get to, oh, this is what our relationship is going to look like now. But that can be scary. That could create some fears as to what is this going to look like now, because I have no idea. You have to work through that. You and all parties involved have to work through it now. What are we going to do now? What is this going to look like? You have to work through that. That takes communication. Mars and Gemini. It may take some fights, some heated conversations, but it doesn't have to be disrespectful, cussing and outbursts. It could just be, yeah, sometimes you're going to have emotional, heated arguments, but with respect. But you're going to work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, something new starting. I do think that's the majority of this message is something is transforming. It's a death, but a rebirth at the same time, instead of just, we're just going to leave. I'm just going to leave. They're just going to leave. We're not working this out. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull an angel answer card. Okay, I'm going to give it about 3 more shuffles, and then I will pull the top card. Okay. Look for a sign. Look for a sign. Have you seen it already? You may have seen the sign and have been ignoring it. Look for a sign. That sign may have, in your mind, been like, oh my gosh, something's bad. Something bad is going to happen. There's a death. There's a death. Look for a sign. Okay, it might be okay. It may be okay. I just had something pop into my mind. And this is a whole nother scenario. There could actually have been a literal death in your family. And with all the planning or with what's going on with your family, it could be very overwhelming. And that's causing a lot of fighting within your family. 4 of Wands in reverse, a lot of emotional venting and unreleasing that you yourself have to just depart from and say, I cannot deal with this. There is some possible person or people that are trying to manage and mediate between all parties of the family that are fighting. Again, literal death of somebody or something. And the person or whomever has passed could have been somebody who was sick. So again, it didn't hurt as bad. You saw it coming, but it's still pain from them passing, and then also what's going on with your family. And once again, when you come together to celebrate the life of somebody, it can be bittersweet. This feels like when you come together and you're eating, and maybe even after everything is settled down and you're sitting with your family, eating, drinking, whatever, reminiscing, it's still like a bittersweet moment. That just literally popped in my head for some reason when I saw look for a sign, because you may see this coming up, this death, or have some people have dreams, they see numbers, etc. Things happen, so you might be seeing something, and there's a fear of what's going to happen when they pass. You might already be expecting all of this drama and instability to happen. You may have been given a responsibility and are like, how am I going to manage this once the succession process or estate stuff? You got to work through your fears. Okay. If this reading resonated with you, and it was a lot, I'm glad it did. If it did not, release it into the universe for those who it did. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.